everyone. Today we're going to be camping in the Blue Mountains, and I'm perched on this really awesome cliff and it looks over Sydney's water supply, which is Lake Burragorang. It was a total bush bash to get here. I just saw the cliff on Google Maps and I thought, yep, we're going straight there no matter what it takes. So it was definitely a brutal bash to get here. I'm going to be camping in the hammock tonight, as requested by the comments in last week's video. Wind is a bit of a concern. Not in terms of the hammock itself, but the tarp that goes over me. The hammock won't go anywhere, even in the strongest of winds, and I've tested that before, but the tarp can certainly go somewhere if I don't peg it down in the strongest way possible, so I'm gonna have to be a bit careful with that one. I wanna put up the hammock in the trees just behind me somewhere so that I have this huge panoramic view from my hammock looking over the valley, so I'm gonna try and set that up now. This whole area has been thrashed by a bushfire in recent years, and all of these trees are pretty well dead. For example, this one here. Look. There's only a few strong trees left and they're in very inconvenient places for me. Okay, I think my best bet is this tree here. It has a decent bit of growth on it. This tree here, which has quite a lot of growth on it. And then that will also give me access to this amazing view just here. Starting to look a little bad for me. It is forecast to rain a bit and I can see some shimmering in the distance, so it might be coming my way. So I'm gonna have to try and get this set up quick and manage a way to get the tarp in place. Oh, it's so windy. I've just been having a break in here for a bit. I'm dreading getting up and starting this fire. It's going to be pretty painful in this wind. Well, that was probably the most brutal tarp and hammock setup process I've ever dealt with. The wind was thrashing me the whole time getting this thing up. I got slashed across the face with the paracord multiple times. What I've done is tied out multiple guy lines to fallen trees around the campsite. The clouds are getting darker and darker. I am yet to get hit by any rain. If by some miracle it doesn't rain, I may risk everything and take down the tarp, and it'll be nice to see the sky while I'm sleeping at night. And it will reduce all the flapping noises. I'm actually a very light sleeper, so every time this shakes and flaps at night, it'll shock me awake, and I'll have to fall back to sleep again. Man, what is that abomination? Can you see all those little legs? It's got so many legs. I don't like that thing at all. Okay, luckily we're on the edge of a cliff, so there's a ton of enormous rocks lying around. I've built this very, very confined fire pit, and I want to tuck the fire straight into the back there so that no wind is going to push it around, and I'm going to keep the flame very low, and I'm primarily going to keep this as a coal bed fire as opposed to a flaming fire. Well, my brand new handcrafted ferro rod from Iceland has just snapped. The ferro rod has come off the handle. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. I appear to also have lost my stockman coat, which is close to brand new as well. I usually tightly roll it and then strap it down to the top of my rucksack, but I think on the bush bash on the way in it may have caught something and been pulled out. Why me? Not sure if you can see that properly, but in the distance it looks like there's an enormous landslide. Just total destruction running all the way down the mountain. Wish I had my binoculars so I could get a better look at it. Well, this trip has certainly been a series of problems and unfortunate events. forgot my plate, so I don't know how I'm gonna eat this steak. If I had a bit more energy, I'd probably try and make a little bushcraft plate for myself, but I think I'm just gonna hold it in my hands and do it that way. Yeah, it was a bit of a rough day. Hopefully the morning's a bit better. I think I'm just gonna eat the food off camera. In the distance I can see huge showers just spraying the horizon line and moving across the mountains.
Makes me happy being in the hammock. The steak was actually really good. Because I was cooking it over such a small fire, it was just perfectly done all the way through and it just melted away in my mouth. I'm just so disappointed about the Stockman coat. It's the fact that it's like the biggest item in my backpack and it's gone. And I only got it like 2 months ago, but anyway, there's a really great feeling about getting into bed at night and being able to look straight out the bug mesh at your fire slowly sizzling away until it dies, and being able to see the vague shapes of the landscape as the moonlight hits everything.
Quite close by, there was a group of lyrebirds singing all morning, so that was kind of my alarm clock, which was rather nice. The river down there looks amazing this morning. It's got these thick plumes of fog just slowly moving along the water. I was a bit disappointed last night because all the sun went away and it became very, very gloomy and you couldn't see a great deal, but it's great to see out in the distance now. All the mountains have their shape returned to them by the sun. When the sun casts all these shadows off the mountains, it really reveals the depth of the place. The scale of this place is just massive. There's a bunch of Australian camping channels that I watch and they all keep featuring Dog and Gun coffee, which seems to be the staple coffee brand among campers in Australia. So I ordered a bunch of their drip filters and I'm gonna try one today. So yeah, I'm pretty keen to try this. I don't really have any breakfast rituals when it comes to camping. I just eat cans of tuna. Down in the valley over that way, I just heard what sounds to me like a wolf howling for quite some time. And I know we don't have wolves here, but I'm wondering what could have been making that sound. If you have any ideas, let me know, because that was really weird to hear because it felt a bit like I was in another country just then hearing that sound. Alright, well I think I'm going to start wrapping things up now. This trip certainly had quite a few ups and downs, but hopefully it was enjoyable to watch at least. I hope I find my jacket on the way back. I hope I can fix my ferro rod okay. A bunch of other stuff happened off camera. I nearly broke my leg, nearly shattered my camera, and a bunch of other things. But I must say this spot is absolutely amazing. It's probably the best view I've ever had while camping, I think. It was very painful to get here, but it was definitely worth it. I went for a little walk just then over that way, where the mountains kind of go into a dip, because I wanted to see if there was any water sources around here. Water definitely flows there, but it's all dried up at the moment. There's a nice little riverbed flowing along. I started filming the waterfall that I found on my GoPro, and the second I reveal it, it shut down and ran out of battery. So hopefully there's like 1 or 2 frames I can show you of that. And I just came down into this little slit here because I was trying to see if any water was collecting. And then I got to this point, and look, this would be a huge... Okay, well, it's time to pack everything down. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a weekend or 2.